Buongiorno a tutti and welcome to the Ark Lab interview. Today we have Nikita. Nikita, I am, the founder of the Ark Lab. Nikita, please, can say two words about you?
Hey guys, this is Nikita Merge, and yeah, we're having another interview with Antonio, which is really exciting that we keep this together. And you can actually check some other previous interviews that we had, a little bit more about. We go deeper to the metaphysics and generally asking interesting questions to discuss. And we hope it will be really nourishing for you guys as well. So, Antonio,
Okay, so
what do you want to talk about?
Nikita, in the Ark Lab, you know, we are trying to create this place where we were willing to share, you know, three words that usually don't speak together, as I said. So we're going to work in science with biological, with biotechnological lab, with smart manufacturing lab. We're also working in logic. We are working in having a course, basically a course on praxeology, which is the logic of human action, and also for us it's very interesting to work into metaphysics. For us metaphysics is a lot of things, but basically is to help us actually to make this question who I am, because for us this is the most important question in order also to do things with your life. Even you want we say like their club, we are willing to create this kind of holistic entrepreneur, someone that is yes, willing to do real things, go into the market, but with a, I could say, deeper meaning, which is deeper purpose. And this is also something that we were discussing right now, Nikita,
Yeah.
about yes, about how is important to go into, you say, this part of ourselves. We call metaphysics, someone called soul, someone called spirit,
Yeah.
which is to try to understand who you are in order to find the meaning also for the things that I'm going to do with my life, because we are in the market, we need to work, we need to
Yeah.
do something that someone is willing to pay in order to give me also the tools to go on, but I say with meaning. So my question, the question in Yak Club is, can we create this place where
Mm-hmm.
we can yes work, we can make products, we can have ideas, we can solve problems, but understanding solving problems means understanding some problem outside, but also doing this with deep meaning
Mm-hmm.
for yourself. And you're doing, I'm following you. You are an advisory board in the Ark Lab, because I'm following you since years now, and I admire so much your work, not just as a designer, but a designer, as I said, that is very deep involved into inner self. I mean, in the
Yeah.
spiritual world. Because when you design, I see that is deeper meaning in anything that you design. And this is why I'm saying this is a very important model that I would
Mm-hmm.
like to see in the Ark Club.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah, it's
tell
it's it's yeah, it's interesting that that's what we actually were talking with you, Antonio, right? Like before we start the Skype, I wanted also I'm kind of seeking guys a little bit shifting my way of life, directing my profession, let's say. I'm like kind of wondering what should I do with my skills and everything. So I was asking Antonio actually about this, what we a little bit
yes,
touching here, the purpose of your deeds. Like what is it that you have to do with your life, right? And Ark Lab addresses this and again we're kind of touching the same topic, like the standard classical educational system is so logic like based on rationality, kind of rationalizing things in so isolated way, and we're all missing kind of and don't even know in our life that what we have, like no one teaches us many things. No one teaches us like, hey, address what is it you want. No one really teaches you even ask right questions, and what is the feeling, what emotions to have, and like why you're frustrated. Like it's out of the topic. And again, what unites us, I see, is the fact that we are curious and passionate and value things like, hey, we want to address the true nature of humankind, and make you to ask right, like asking right questions, make you to address what is actually truthful to yourself, because there's so many things in our life it's projected by society. Like you believe you want it, but when you get it, you actually feel why it's not really satisfying me. I thought this is something that I wanted. So this is how you go through experience. But generally, like we pursue so many things that actually, by the human thing that is given to us, body, mind, and soul, as they usually say, it's it's not something that you trying to achieve. The thing's actually so close to you to achieve, and
Yeah.
that will be my thoughts on this one. Yeah.
Yes, and we are always speaking about right, body, mind, and soul. No,
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying was these three worlds that doesn't speak each other as they could probably, because
Yeah.
body for me is senses, is science, I could say, the external world, right?
Uh-huh.
And mind, I, I, I always say that mind is a kind of bridge
Mm-hmm.
between the external world that I touch with senses, which is science,
Uh-huh.
and then there is soul, spirit. No one knows what this thing is. It's a material,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, and the point is those two things are important, right? And how we can connect these two worlds with the only things that we have that is our brain is logic, and and I see this this path, I could say, already in your work, because you are creating, I could say, this kind of synthesis, if I could say,
Yeah.
between among these two worlds. So you are interested, of course, in body. You are very interested in exploring. You're interested in exploring actually the biology, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
something that is always very important for you. This is the biohacking board. The
Yeah.
biohacking world is the world of people that were willing to experiment, to explore by themselves the body.
Yeah.
And then there is this other part that is the soul,
Yeah.
which you call metaphysics, which is something that is not strictly related with your senses.
Yeah.
And you are creating this kind of we can call this a book, I don't know, we can call this a graphic,
Yeah.
but can you tell me a little bit more
Yeah.
about this journey that you are getting, because I see your effort in trying to
Yeah.
show basically graphically
Mm-hmm.
this those walls that must, or we want that they start to be even seen graphically.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, tell me about this.
That's
Where are now?
yeah.
What is your idea?
Yeah.
And yes, tell me what you were talking before. How
Sure.
you think that you can get something
Yeah.
out of this, and then maybe keep working
Yeah.
in this. But tell me
Yeah.
something more about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Body mind. It's interesting. Like, I will tell you this interesting thing that, funny enough, actually, before our call this morning, I was reflecting. Usually, I do audio journaling, which is really practical. Um, and I addressed my past, and I addressed actually observing what I wrote before. And what I noticed is that I was, as a kid, misunderstood. I guess most of us of this kind of direction we misunderstood. And I read what I wrote when I was 18 years old, and I was studying engineering architecture one semester, and second semester I let go, which is pretty like I just I just let it go, and I start to less attend courses.
Yes.
But then I found to go further to study architecture in Denmark. But that year was a big deal because I'm introvert. So what I was doing, I was coming from the studies, and I was jumping into the computer and researching stuff that was curious for me. what is this, life, philosophy. And I started to write, and I wrote a lot of interesting stuff. And but now that I read these things, or I was doing video journaling also since 2015. And the beautiful thing is, if you actually look yourself in the past, you will see that you have the same thing, but it's just the thing is you didn't have enough experience to express yourself. You didn't
Yeah.
have enough linguistics being developed. You don't understand language enough, and you're not sure. You're not confident. You're not really knowing your place in your life. You're kind of immature, so you need to walk life from immaturity and with awareness. And so you didn't have this confidence. But the problem is, it's all right. It's normal process. The problem is, what I notice is the people who I surrounded with didn't understood me. But
Yeah.
if I look at language that I wrote, I think, wow, dude, you wrote such a crazy stuff. Like you speak the same language as I speak right now, right? If I
Yeah.
talk with myself in the past, or like when I know like Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, or Rosenberg, Nonviolent Communication, or David Hawkins about Power versus Force book, um, even Joe Dispenza, if you know this dude, Jordan Peterson, all these dudes, when I listen to them, they are great. They're accepted and they are accepted by quality people. And when I say, hey, they speak actually my language, you
Yeah.
know, so that supports you really well. And when such quality people resonates with your language and what you're talking about intuitively and cognitively at the same time, that really supports you and makes you to take the belief in yourself, take the trust in yourself. Unfortunately, I had to retake this trust to myself, not from the surroundings of family or schools that actually saying, dude, what, I don't understand you. Like you even don't want to share with them because they don't understand. You get this, in my case, it was suppressive. Like I don't want to share, and I didn't know. It's the
Yes.
trigger that you respond to.
Yes.
So, but so that's really interesting to see back. And I had a couple of times when I was going deep into understanding things, and I surprised myself. Wow, actually, where did I get it out? So I always had this curiosity to explain this world, right? As I mentioned before, also. So eventually, I want to have understand that we have finite way of understanding world. We have body, mind, soul. Like so, it's interesting. You have this personality, and your soul is embedded into this personality. It has a tool to think, to operate, and you have this body. All of them have rules, and you have so I call it God, source, or intelligence that brings the soul into this machine. But the beauty of this that you express this intelligence so limited from all world, so limited. But that's the beauty of this game that you exist in. So you can understand the world in a limited way, and you can channel it in a limited way. So this is the personality that becomes Nikita, the identity that you know, like from this, right? Or Antonio. And but that's the beautiful thing because everything is finite, which means you can not the intelligence. Intelligence is infinite, but the point is the game is finite. So which means you can identify natural principles, which means you can identify, okay, there's body, mind, and soul, no question about it. There's like a way of linguistics, there's no question about it. You can learn about words. You can understand the meaning behind the words. Okay, no question about it. We can relate. We can collaborate. There's craft, science, art. So it's interesting when you know that it's finite. It makes you to go and wonder and understand this spectrum. There's two extremes from one extreme to another, and you can find out the answers. But you test. You have to be sincere. You have not to betray, not to say, "Ha, I found the answer." You have to
Yes.
keep on going. So body, mind, and soul. Eventually, I arrived to this kind of interesting way. Well, everything that is human actually is expressing thyself through his body, mind, and soul. So, and how you relate with that, how you use it, it's up to you. And all you have is your time, 24 hours per day. What are you going to do with your 24 hours per day, right? I'm not the first person who's saying that.
Yeah.
So all this stuff, I keep on, and I don't know. It's just curiosity and passion. I guess something like kind of, I don't know. I don't know how to
I
explain
mean,
that.
yes,
Yeah.
it's I can get my
Yeah.
my impression because you said something also very interesting for me because yes, it's a kind of paradox, you know. We always go back to paradox because
Mm.
it's a kind that yes, you are trying to, and this is and it show at least for my understanding how deep and challenging is this job because this work
Uh-huh.
that you are doing because you say exactly that this intelligence, infinite intelligence, is an infinite game actually,
Hmm.
but we could only, show in a finite way. So the the,
Yeah.
the challenge that I'm seeing is that you are making this, and I think this we go. go straight to the point, because you are making this challenging work, wonderful work, in order basically to try to graphically,
Yeah.
graphically make a kind of synthesis of this infinite intelligence that we call source, in the only finite things that we have, and indeed with body, mind, and soul.
Hmm.
And this is exactly the point that you were asking me before.
Yeah.
How you could show this journey, which is an infinite journey,
Hmm.
in a kind finite way. And this is why I told you my suggestion is go outside,
Yeah.
go take a finite part of this infinite
Yeah. Yeah.
journey and go outside and show that we are, or you are, already making a kind of connection or synthesis about these three worlds,
Hmm.
okay, body, mind, and soul, that are here, are there, and are parts of this infinite
Uh-huh.
thing, which we call source or intelligence. And the risk is that, as I said, that
Mhm.
you could go forever
Yeah.
because it's infinite.
Yeah.
And you say always that I love your definition that we did in the last video, when you say that basically you are going to take, you know, paths from this infinite,
Yeah.
you know, and then encode, you say the
Yeah.
word encode, this path in graphic, in
Yeah.
order that I can show
Yeah.
something that I'm choosing, but I'm choosing, you are choosing from an infinite spectrum, right? But this is very, it's so important, because to me it shows graphically, I can touch eventually
Hmm.
this this I could say, we call machine, we can
Hmm.
say machine, I can touch this machine and I can see how those things are related, and
Yeah.
then and they can give us, can give people
Yeah.
an incredible, information,
Yeah.
help also, because the problem today is that we think that we are only body, maybe we are only soul,
Exactly. Yeah.
we are only logic, we are extremely rational, you say.
Yeah.
So but how we could find this kind of synthesis, this is what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like good point you say. It's like we go isolated way and we don't consider the full spectrum. And it's
Yes.
hard because it's a big, I mean, I understand why some people find it really energy consuming to address their thoughts, to understand things. I just have curiosity and passion, so I'm burning myself out when I going deep because I'm curious, I wonder there. But like from the full spectrum, it's really interesting. It's a big job to understand, and it's amazing when human and humanity can have the full spectrum of understanding in respect to the humankind, where we're standing at, what you do in respect to spectrum, where you stand off in relation to the whole, and what you can do, what you cannot do, because it's finite, right? You can talk, you can use your body. I mean, there's limitations for this thing. So, which means you can define and present the full spectrum for human to channel and express, like through the spiritual you channel and to the physical you express for this limited way of this intelligence. So this is something I guess I'm after. Yeah.
And again, the other thing that I would like to pick from our discussion is something that is also very important. I mean, and this is why it's important, the work that we are trying to do, because it's very important to share this this
Yeah.
this journey, because it's we know it's not easy to find a companion, I could
Yeah.
say, for in this journey, or in this search. But as we see, it's so important to have feedbacks, to share,
Yeah.
because because this is the problem. It's
Yeah.
not easy. It's not easy to address
Yeah.
this important I wouldn't want even to say topics. These important things for the life of each one of us. For example, yesterday I was in Naples. I told you I was
Yeah.
in this. I was in this kind of little conference, and I was. There were a lot of young people, and I asked them
Mm-hmm.
just. I said, listen. I was talking about logic, right? I was not talking about no science. I was not neither of soul. I was talking about logic, and I asked them, listen, do you know what is the first principle of logic, which is the contradiction principle? No one's knew.
Mm-hmm.
So no one's know the contradiction principle, which is the most elementary
Yeah.
principle of logic. And this gave me the feeling of something that I already know. How we can understand or try to understand again body, even soul, if we don't know the basic of the things that guide our mind, which
Mm-hmm.
is plain logic. So you
Mm-hmm.
see, you see, there are a lot of effort that needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Even going back to the again to the basic logic.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is why our work, I think, is very important, because we are you know basically emphasizing some points that are very important to understand what's going on in in our life, and this is as a reflection what's going on in the external life, because we are human beings,
Yeah.
we relate to each other. So, and the point is that I am understanding more and more that yes, I could not go only with science doing things.
Mm-hmm.
I could not go also only in going spiritual, you know, getting basically outside the material world and just, standing still. And I need also to go with logic to try to make sense of the
Yeah.
things that are happening. And this is also something that I see with people like you that are committed to this journey or to this effort,
Yeah.
and again, it's given me I could say the drive to keep doing,
Yeah.
or willing to do this work, or even willing to have a conversation, open conversation with you on such topics that it's not easy
To
to get
have.
outside, to get outside, because
Yeah.
the people are full of distractions,
Yeah.
and for them it's a kind of waste of time.
Yeah. I would say they don't have ability to understand and to put, and it takes so much energy, and it's hard for them to maintain their focus there. It's simply because they didn't have curiosity and passion there.
But I
And
mean, my question that I will ask to you is,
yeah.
this is something that is I keep thinking, but I think that as a human being, everyone has a curiosity and passion. Now
Hmm.
the point is, why there are people that are so strong, I could say, that instead, or in spite of the pressure, the social pressure that try to basically
Yeah.
you know kill your curiosity, your passion, and you go in the, let's say, mass market world or mainstream world. But there are some people like you, like me, that are keep
Yeah.
having this curiosity. Is this a problem of education?
Uh-huh.
or this is a kind of genetical,
Yeah.
you know, I think that is
Mm.
from education. This is why it's important
Okay.
to educate people you know, trying to get out this curiosity or
Hmm.
this passion to tackle those those things. I mean, did you, because you say something about in your when you know when you are younger, no, that you were fighting with the, what we can say, the public, you know, the public opinion, what
Yeah.
was going around you, how you fight fight such
I
such
guess, yeah,
challenge.
I guess it's definitely subjective, but it's hard because at that time I'm in oblivion. I don't really, I'm not aware. I don't understand. So what drives me is the surroundings that shaped me, the genetics that are provided to me, and some sort of drive. I don't know, spiritual drive. I guess the purpose is not betraying. You know, like like listening usually to yourself somehow. Like something is wrong here. You know, and I still couldn't articulate or orientate. Like I'm still in this oblivion kind of existence. Uh, but you still follow. Like in the beginning, I say I follow the elder brothers. I follow, you know, kind of surroundings, norms. But eventually, you're just not happy with the situation. You know,
Hmm. Yes.
um, you because you misunderstood. You have like I have expectations and situations of acceptance. You know, like I guess like many say like it's all comes to lack of love, right? So sort of this way, like I just didn't had proper adequate response, like parents or elders or family meant too, right? You don't get this kind of acceptance, and but you more get this kind of judgmental approach, you know. So I think naturally it's not normal, it's not adequate. So I guess the soul, the natural sort of intuition and intention meant to respond to this other way around, right? It should say, hey, something is wrong. So there's conflict between mind, rationality, right, and
Yes.
kind of soul or
Yes.
virtues, you could say.
Yes.
But you don't
Yes.
know, you don't know, you don't know what is
Yes.
happening at all. So you're
Yes.
like under the effect completely.
Yes.
Um, so as you learn as you go, you start, I guess, try different things, and I guess when it accumulates so much, you start to be frustrated and like it's enough for you. Some people
Yes.
go and get
Yes.
broken, like maybe on drugs or alcohol or
Yes.
sexual so
Yes.
addictions, other
Yes.
addictions. Some
Yes.
people actually get inspiration and get like
Yes.
frustrated, uses frustration to
Yes.
resolve the problem. So I don't like this, I have to fix it. And I just had to. First, there was a story for me to go to study separately. So I had ups and downs, crazy relationship, study at the end semester work in Australia and in Denmark. So that was kind of tough on me.
Yes.
But return also was like to recover,
Yes.
um, and working as an architect and so on. But then again, then you start to just grow and start to ask yourself probably questions. And
Yes.
I don't really have question answers.
Yes.
What is this? I guess I just the internal mechanism, you can call it,
Yes.
kind of guides you. And if you continue betraying yourself, you will get suppressed, depressed, anxious,
Yes. Yes.
neurotic, and you'll remain there. So I guess that wondering, asking questions, why I feel this way or that, it's I don't know, it's just naturally happened.
Yes.
Uh,
I mean,
yeah, it's
and
crazy. I don't have
yeah.
answers,
No, no. I mean, you
It's
say
how I
you
experience.
you gave me
My thoughts.
and say you gave me an insightful answer actually, because
Yeah.
it resonated with what one of the philosophers that I admired the most, which is Jiddu Krishnamurti,
Hmm.
was saying, because he was always starting his speech actually saying, "Listen," he was saying, "Look around you, look the world around you, look the world how messy it is. This is a fact,
Hmm.
and so any one of us can see if he's a little bit serious, irresponsible, I mean, not totally superficial. Any one of us, the world external, the world is just a collection of problems, right?
Yeah.
Politically, socially, you know, we when we watch on TV and we saw a news, we just have a collection of problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we assume that this is as it is and could not be changed. So you see a messy world, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. But if you are a little bit serious, as
Mm-hmm.
Krishnamurti say, you are starting to at least being aware of the problem of the world, then this give you the drive, or
Mm-hmm.
should give you the drive, to start to make questions. Why?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
is this a reflection of myself? And you did it, I did it, some people do this. We don't know how it's going to end. We don't know if our journey is going to
How
end
about
with.
you? Do you? How did you? Would you have this? The same question to you would be
And yeah,
any way you got into this?
yes. I mean, I can see, I can see. I remember the day when I got this spark. It was just, it was many years ago. I think it was. I can even say it was 2008. I was working in Estonia, and I was completely up to that day. I could say I was completely unaware or unconscious, even of the reality of the world. I was just focused on myself and on trying to play the external game. Became an entrepreneur, became powerful, became
Yeah.
rich, became billionaire. The best car, the best girl, the, the best, in the club, the most, drunk of everyone. But then I saw this. It was a sentence that gave me the spark. The sentence was, I always say this was sentence that I was reading in a kind of, I don't even remember what the site said. This sentence from von Mises, no, this philosopher that I admire also a lot. He was saying, listen, economy is the science of human action. And this word, I don't know how, resonated against me. And I started to just, it was just a little, spark that gave me this kind of awareness about, oh,
Yeah.
what does it mean? Why we talk about this economy, which means what's going on outside is
Yeah.
human. And so I'm human, I can be part of this problem. And from that sentence, I started to realize that what was going on outside in the world was also my own responsibility.
Yeah.
So I started to be a little bit interested not only in understanding who I am, but at
Yeah.
least it broke this unconscious
Yeah.
life that I was doing. And from that, I started the journey that has brought me here now. And
Yeah.
I devote now 100% of my time in making this question. But it was by chance. It was because I was lucky. I don't know. But the external reality gave me the spark or
Mm-hmm.
the drive to go into something that now is the mission of my life. And now this is, I see, is the mission of your life. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm meeting a lot of people that have the same mission.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this is to answer your question, or the question that we have
Mm-hmm.
down, that how, is genetically,
Uh-huh.
is spiritually, how some people started to take very seriously this question, because they understand this is the most important work that they could do in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, is a fact,
Mm-hmm.
because if I have the chance to stand still, to be aware, and to see critically what's going on outside, and I'm not totally superficial or totally unconscious, I could not enter
Uh-huh.
in this room, and it will become the only room that I live right now. So again, to me, is a fact, and
Yeah.
this is why I'm devoted to, with the Ark Lab,
Mm-hmm.
to put this question out there, because I see, listen, you don't need to be superhuman or special to
Yeah,
be concerned about this. You need to be serious,
yeah,
a little bit less superficial, and then you could not see this fact. It's just in front of you.
yeah, yeah. It's nice.
This
Yeah,
is, I mean,
yeah.
this is
And I guess it's different for everyone. Like some
yes,
people
it's different.
need
Yes,
some super shock. Some people get super shock and that wakes them up, right? Some people
yes,
just had it
yes,
in them, and yeah, it's hard to
yes,
predict. I would say it's
yes,
a combination of everything.
yes.
But
And I tell you, to me,
uh-huh.
one of the most tragic problem today is this depression. There
Mm,
are a lot of people, especially young people, that are depressed. I think just because they see, even unconsciously, the reality,
yeah,
which is, and they could not find a meaning
yeah, yeah,
and to, yes, to face this. So they go in depression because
yeah,
they keep unconscious. They have the reflection of the external world
yeah,
that is messy, and what they do, they don't have a, you know, a kind of way out
yeah.
that we have now. This is a kind of a way out for us to not be
It's
depressed.
it's nice you mentioned that. Like I completely agree with you, and I think that this actually combines the topic to the fact that we keeping in touch, getting feedback, and as you mentioned, to go to the public, get the feedback from people, and that usually I see that people get into, as you say, to depression because they're alone, misunderstood, I would say, and what they see in the world is something wrong. It's inadequate.
Yes,
It's
yes,
not what it meant to be, and this like connect social belonging, I call it, and empathy is
yes,
lacking there.
yeah,
So
yes,
and you close, you don't really share, and
yes,
uh,
yes,
and that makes you, be being kind of not realistic, let's say, about the like it's kind of, yeah, it's just hard to express. It's frustrated and isolated.
yes.
And
But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, to me, it's so logic again that the reaction could be nothing else than depression if you don't have the opportunity to
yeah,
face, because again, we have we don't want to know we don't want to stay too much, right? Because we are going to make this kind of
yeah, what,
conversation often, so at least I hope at least one time per week. But you give me
yeah,
another point to put on the table eventually, is that because today nothing, no institution, I could say, is facing tackling this fact, because they are they are not addressing this. They are addressing their own interest. Family, oh, they are lost also. Church or religion,
hmm,
they are more and more power machine.
hmm,
So if you are a young kid and you are there and you see this madness, especially emphasized, by this thing, how you could find not a solution, but a channel, just a channel where you can, you know, basically suck your this energy that
yeah,
is just no
yeah.
basically
I that
destroying you,
that's
because there is energy without
yeah.
way out.
But there are really still role models existing in internet. Again, like Jordan Peterson, you probably heard about this guy.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
I know.
or
Yes,
many interviews with Joe Rogan, or even real social dynamics RSD for guys. So there are many materials. There's still hope. Like luckily that there are some materials even for free in YouTube that can give a hope for people, for younger generation. And I guess it's also our responsibility. Like that's what you do, like Ark Lab, and same what I do. Like, and that's something is tough because we have to do something that is, we need courage to do that. I guess we need realization, clarity, what we have to do, and we have to remove many noises in our lives that is are
Yes.
not meaningful.
Yes.
So I
Yes. I
guess
mean,
there is something still there.
yes. I mean,
Uh,
this is why, as this is, we go back to the discussion that we were sharing before our call. This is
yeah,
why to me it's very, very important that you start to show or get out with your first chapter, I can say,
exactly.
as
Yeah,
I will say, because it's needed. It's not
yeah.
going to be the last chapter.
It's also
Because,
something to mention. It's interesting you say that also, that I don't know if it's true, but it could be European mindset or in general kind of new
Western, yeah,
generations mindset or in general, that we always want to get ready for things. I experienced that everyone like, I have to learn, I have to get ready, and then I'm gonna do it. But what I learn is I have to learn as I go. In my case, a little bit also the fact is that I lose interest when I find out everything how it works. I'm not interested anymore, so that kills me. You know, maybe some people have also the same reason, but it's something beautiful to go as you learn, be sincere, and fair, or not fear, but
yes,
fair,
yeah,
fair.
yeah,
Um, that is, and share, yeah, and go and I guess
yeah,
sincerely express yourself. But it's
yes,
hard again because that's the environment people grow into. Like they're afraid to express their opinion because in the surroundings that they grow in is kind of judgmental and they remain misunderstood. So they like keep it for
yes.
themselves. So it's, yeah, it's not that easy. Yeah, it's a,
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's not easy. It's challenging, but it's needed.
yeah,
It's not. Yes, it's about subjective, opinion, but the fact is there.
yeah,
Anyone can get out and can go around in his city, in his neighbor, and he can see, and he can switch on television, and they can see that everything seems completely crazy. I mean, I use always, I joke with two words. I use parody and tragedy because everywhere I go, I see both. I see the parody of,
yeah,
crazy, stupid things, and I see tragedy. Listen, and let me mention this
uh-huh.
before, and then I think we can end this talk, and then we will go in. Yesterday, I get the chance to see the debate, the first debate of this European election that is going to be soon,
Yeah,
and it's there for everyone. Go there, and I've seen such incredible parody, so fake, but
yeah,
abnormal fake that I see, wow, how the people could not realize that even the big institutions that are going to rule their life are so parodical that how you could not, wake up
yeah,
and you can start to at least question. Because, and again, I made this question to the young that I met yesterday, and you know what they told me? They didn't know. They said, listen, I don't care. I don't even know the name of the minister of my country. I don't care. But I told them, yes, but you know what is the consequence of this? That they're going to affect your life heavily.
it, yeah, but they don't understand that.
They don't care. The problem is that they don't even understanding at least. I don't understand at least. I go and try to get information. I don't understand. But they don't even want to get there. They are completely detached. But this is a big problem because, you know, politics unfortunately matter because they're going to take decision.
Yeah,
They're going to rule, the economic system, how you can travel, the passport, the things, and, how you could
I,
forget
I
this.
have answer. I really have answer. Being
Tell me.
introvert,
Yeah.
I think it's just the fact that they have internal problems first. They need to figure it out inside, and their attention will go outside more. It's just the fact that they're not addressing their global or external problems is actually telling you that they have internal problems more. So actually, our goal is to help them to resolve the
Yes,
internal problems
yes,
so they can
yes,
easily address their
yes,
external problems
yes,
and resolve that.
yes.
I guess
Totally,
to be this way.
totally, totally agree with you.
And what I noticed, like, it's all about leadership. As I read stuff, learn about things, the problem is poor leadership in our, like, poor role models and leadership around people. That will resolve problem. That's what I say, even politics or whatever it is. People who lead, if they actually lead properly, sincerely, and everything with all virtues, let's say, um, that will resolve the problems, I guess.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Nikita,
We have
it's
to sum
almost
up.
45 minutes. It's okay. Otherwise, the people start to fall asleep.
Yeah,
And so, let's try to make another conversation next week, right? We will try.
yeah. We go as we can, but it's maybe once in 2 weeks will be possible.
I'm happy and it's very enjoyable. So let's
Let's see how deep we can go, right?
yes, okay. So
Okay, Antonio.
ciao ciao from Barletta. Where are you now?
Bologna, still in Italy.
Bologna. We are going to stay in Bologna, or when we're
A
going to
couple of
from.
days, and I'll go to Milan.
So next interview I think will be from Milano, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Okay, Antonio.
Ciao ciao
Ciao,
ciao ciao
guys.
Nikita.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Take care.